And it's just so by the time I get into the location and I'm ready to work, it's a turnkey operation. So I get there, bring my family in, family set up at the house, everybody has everything that they need, and the gym is ready for me. It's generally always private again. If I know I'm going to be shooting on a location, it requires months of setup. So I generally set up a gym, private gym, that's either on my property or very close by in a warehouse. Rent out the warehouse, rent the equipment, ship the equipment. It's just so by the time I get into the location and I'm ready to work, it's a turnkey operation. So I get there, bring my family in, family set up at the house, everybody has everything that they need, and the gym is ready for me. It's generally always private again. It could be a warehouse, it could be a really not appealing place, not pretty. We don't need it to be pretty. So yeah, but I usually have everything set up.
Well, every morning, this is what I do. It's a very big secret, by the way. I'm revealing a lot right now. 4 o'clock in the morning, I wake up, 4 o'clock in the morning. But by the way, that's the magic hour. That 4 o'clock in the morning is when no one else is up, so no one else is bothering you, and you can focus on whatever work you have to get done. I'm sending these electronic mails, those things. And then by 4:30, 4:45, I'm doing some sort of cardio. So in this case, I come out here, open these garage doors. It's still dark outside, so it's just me and a whole bunch of Blair Witch things that are happening out there in the woods. And I jump on this thing. I do this, and then I'll have breakfast, and then I will go do all my strength and conditioning training at a gym for about an hour, and then I'll go to set. Between cardio, strength, and resistance training, stretching, maybe about an hour and 45 minutes. Diets, everything. I can tell you right now is just to find balance. Yeah, sure. So I think carbs are your friend. I always tell people that. Well, I think the structure of the diet all starts with whatever the goal is. The diet is structured, and it's probably somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 calories a day. Very balanced of carbohydrates and fats and proteins and greens and things like that.
My personal history with muscle and fitness goes way back. My dad was a professional wrestler. He would always go to these hardcore gyms, him and his fellow pro wrestlers, Tony Atlas, Ivan Putski, Paul Orndorff, Hulk Hogan. I would just hang out and I would read his bodybuilding magazines. I had 2 references in terms of my training. My dad, and the other reference, Muscle and Fitness. The magazine itself, it's often referred to as the Fitness Bible. The very first time the magazine came to me and asked me to be on the cover, it was an easy yes. At that time, I had just broken into the world of Hollywood. It was an honor for me to do it. The very first time I worked out in the gym, I was with my dad. I would get on the wrestling mats with him, bend my body into pretzels until I tapped out. Finally, when I was about 10 years old, he let me hit the weight. The very first exercise I did was a bench press, put on 225s, press that up. All right, you ready to go to the 45s? I was like, yeah, let's go to the 45s. 145 on each side, 3, 2, 1, gave it to me, and I got buried. And I made it a point, like I was gonna push that up the very next week. So all week long, I did push up. I went in the gym the next weekend, Saturday morning with my dad, and I pushed it up. And that's why I don't need therapy today. Being the man of the century for muscle and fitness, it's an honor. It's not a right just because you become a star. I've had the opportunity of being on every magazine cover in the world. When I was 13 years old, we got evicted out of my place, out of our little apartment in Hawaii. I had no place to sleep. But I knew at that time the men in my life who I aspired to be were all these men who went to the gym, who were on the cover of Muscle and Fitness, by the way. I'm very grateful, and I hope I do the magazine proud. Meeting Joe Weider was an honor. He was all things that I had hoped him to be. Training and some sort of physical activity becomes my anchor every day. Try and stay focused. For me, I got to get up at 3:45 in the morning. I'll do my cardio, I'll have my breakfast, then I'll go train and hit the iron, then I'll go to set. If I could get those things done before I go to set, then I could work for the next 12, 14, 16 hours. The fun part is the strategy behind it. Training for a role like Ballers is different than training for a role like Baywatch, Fast and Furious. For a role like San Andreas, they're all different, because if you do anything, you never want to do anything half-assed, especially when it comes to your training. Get in, be intense, execute on it, and get out. For a lot of guys out there, and I was certainly one of those guys, in my 20s, I thought I had all the answers, didn't know shit. By the way, in my 30s, I'm still trying to find myself, as a lot of guys are out there. Hopefully when you hit your 40s, you're hitting a nice stride. Every day today, I'm just more appreciative of the moment. Been through relationships, been through a divorce, have a beautiful daughter, one on the way, very, very lucky man. If I'm gonna do it, I need to do this job right. I need to stay focused on it. I need to give the best effort I possibly can. And not only that, but just between us, I was like, I'm gonna be the baddest motherfucker walking at 43, 44, 45, 46, 47.